Geese scene script. Can you imagine waking up to the sound of airstrikes? It's a reality for many in Syria's Idlib province. In the early hours of the day, the thunderous roar of jet engines and the ominous whistling of bombs falling from the sky have become an all-too familiar sound. The Russian aerospace forces have been conducting airstrikes in the province, a region that has found itself at the center of a violent conflict. The objective? The targets are armed groups who have been accused of illegally shelling the positions of Syrian government troops. These aren't just faceless fighters hidden in the shadows. These are sons, fathers, brothers. They are people caught up in a situation far beyond their control, and the toll is heartbreaking. In one such incident, 34 fighters lost their lives and over 60 were left wounded, their futures uncertain in the wake of the devastation. This isn't an isolated incident. The frequency of these airstrikes is increasing, as is the intensity. Each strike carries with it a wave of destruction, tearing apart homes and families, leaving behind a landscape scarred by conflict and a people living in the shadow of fear. The positions of the Syrian government troops have been attacked 7 times. 7 times they've been forced to retaliate, to defend their positions, their homes, their country. 7 times they've had to make the impossible decision of taking another life to protect their own. But let's not forget the civilians caught in the crossfire. People who once lived peaceful lives now find themselves in a war zone. Homes have been reduced to rubble, families torn apart, and dreams shattered. The price of this conflict is paid in innocent lives. This is the reality in Syria's Idlib province, a reality marked by the constant threat of violence, the deafening sound of airstrikes, and the fear of what tomorrow might bring. The devastation and human cost of these strikes are far-reaching, and the situation continues to escalate. But what happens when the smoke clears? How does the Syrian government respond to these attacks? In the wake of the airstrikes, the Syrian government troops are left to scramble, dusting off the debris and pulling up their bootstraps for yet another day on the battlefield. Their positions, strategic footholds in the province of Idlib, have been attacked no less than 7 times. These positions aren't just dots on a map. They represent the Syrian government's foothold in a volatile region. They are the linchpins in their defense against the onslaught of illegal armed groups that have been relentlessly shelling them. Each attack on these positions does more than just rattle the troops. It chips away at their ability to maintain control and stability in the region. The loss of a position isn't just a retreat, it's a potential advance for the opposing forces, a shift in the delicate balance of power that has been teetering on the brink for far too long. The response from the Syrian government troops is one of resilience and determination. Despite the repeated attacks, they continue to hold their ground as much as they can, engaging in a high-stakes game of push and pull with the illegal armed groups. Their resolve is tested, their resources stretched thin, but they strive to maintain their positions. But let's not forget the human element in all of this. Each attack brings with it a toll that goes beyond the strategic losses. There are lives affected, soldiers who have families waiting for them at home, who are dealing with the harsh realities of war on a daily basis. And then there's the wider impact on the region. Each flashpoint in this conflict sends ripples through the geopolitical landscape. Allies, enemies, and those caught in between are all forced to react, to adapt to the ever-changing dynamics of this complex war. As the conflict drags on, the toll on both sides is immense, with no clear end in sight. This isn't just about a series of airstrikes or the response from the Syrian government troops. It's about a region in turmoil, a people in distress, and a world that watches on, hoping for a resolution that seems increasingly elusive. The stakes are high, the costs even higher. But for now, the smoke clears, the dust settles, and the Syrian government troops prepare for what comes next.